Hey, this is Louis D. Fresh bringing it to you on a Friday morning. No, Friday afternoon. How you like that? I hope you're doing well. Just a little quick update. My little fish up there in my office, Mr. Fish, he did pass away this week. And I knew it. I knew he was starting to get little. And so, you could tell after many years of taking care of fish. So I brought him home, and he passed away peacefully in my one of my tanks at home, and on Tuesday or early Tuesday, I guess overnight. And I got a new guy in there. His name is I don't know what his name is, but he's red, and I'll show him to you someday. You might be able to see him, maybe not. I don't think so. But today we're going to be talking more about our college portion here. We're going to be talking and finish up our two-part series. Last time we talked about what is Greek life, and today we're going to talk about pros and cons about Greek life, and because it is something that sometimes can be taboo and really not talked about, and hey, you shouldn't join, or you should, or la la la. I told you I was part of Greek life as well, Alpha Phi Delta, National Italian Heritage Fraternity, and I liked it. I should keep up with it, but I don't. But one of the cool things is still available to me. So let's check out what we got. The pros and cons of Greek life, and I may talk more about it someday. But at least for right now, I wanted to address what is it and the pros and cons of it. So let's dive right into it. Again, here in my office, what are the pros and cons of Greek life? Pros and cons, the highlights, the lowlights about Greek life. Again, that means fraternities and sororities. All right, let's check it out. Pros. Pros here. Good leadership skills. Yeah, like myself, I can't lie. I know it sounds weird, but I am an introvert by nature. And I know that along with some high school acting and just being working in college camps working in day camps and working in after school programs, and this because I was the president of my chapter at Alpha Phi Delta in Fordham. There it is, Fordham University. How you like that? Fordham in Rose Hill in the Bronx. It did help me grow and help me become more of a leader. So that was very true for me. Better sense of community. The community I'm talking about is that sorority or that fraternity, that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that sisterhood. I know people say, oh yeah, you're a brother, you're a sister. No, if you're in a solid fraternity / sorority, you really are. You really are. You're just not a hey. You really do become brothers. You do become sisters. And there's a sense of, hey, you're one of us, and so it is kind of nice. It is kind of nice. All right, continuing with the pros, opportunity to do charity outreach, to do perhaps do a toy drive, be there for others, feed the homeless. Not all of them, but I know as ours did. We would definitely did some service. So it can be an opportunity for you to be a man and woman for others. So it not always, but it's definitely that is one of the characteristics of a sorority and a fraternity. And of course, it is lots of fun. I can't lie. Between which I'll mention a little bit later on, dances and outings and maybe going to a ball game or going to a concert or things of that nature. It is a lot of fun. I'm not going to sit here and lie, and so it definitely is something that it definitely will increase your social activities. So it's a good time. It's a good time. All right. Other thing, this is what I mean that I should be more active in my fraternity, because we do have a very strong alumni association. Like I said, I do. My school, Fordham University, is in the Bronx and in New York City, but they do have an alumni network down here. Like I told you, about an hour's drive from where I am right now. And I know they have a picnic coming up and things of that nature. So I mean, they definitely do. They definitely do have a good network of alumni. May provide opportunities for scholarships and grants. And notice the keyword is may. Grant, remember, quick refresher, is free money, scholarships, again, free money for college. And if you, again, my opinion is seek out a national fraternity or sorority, because they more than likely will have those opportunities for you to get a scholarship or a grant. And so that is definitely a perk for sororities and fraternities. All right, I don't have that many cons, but the number one, and it's a huge one, it's very, very huge. And this is the negativity. This is why people are like, don't join a sorority, don't join a fraternity. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. One of the first questions that came out of my mouth when I was pledging for Alpha Phi Delta is, do you haze? And the hazing, what I'm talking about, it can be physical violence. It can be derogatory, how you're put in situations that may not necessarily be pleasing in terms of alcohol, drugs. It's a reality. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. Not all of them, because I would not be in that particular fraternity, Alpha Phi Delta, if I would have been hazed. I'm not going to say I would not. I would not be beaten up, hurt, harassed, whatever, for the sake of of any type of organization. But some do. I'm not here to say this fraternity or that sorority. That's not my place. It's not my place. But it is your place to search and say, hey, is this something that you may be cool with it? You might be, hey, it makes me a better man, makes me a better woman. I'm not here to tell, but I know that is a very, very big. And I noticed the word I used was danger. And I'm going to use that word too: dangers in pledging and hazing. So it'd be look at because, like I said, I'm in here for the cura personalis, the care of the person. So be careful. So that was a big one. Number 2, can require large time commitments in terms of, like I said before, the service project, the fun activities, the meetings, rushing, which I mentioned last time, trying to get more recruits, pledging, make sure the pledges do what they need to do. It can be. It really can be. So, that can require, that's why I put a clock and a calendar here. It can definitely take up a lot of your time. Not a lot, but significant. That's the word I'm looking for. A significant portion of your time. So you need to be careful. And it's like, because you may be working, you may be doing internships, you may be, you may have difficult classes. So that's something you may want to keep in mind in terms of a fraternity/sorority. And I was just making sure this is my last slide. The Greek life sometimes has dues and membership fees. I can't lie, even as an alumni, I know they do have these things where I do get stuff in the mail or emails saying, hey, we make sure that you pay your due. I can't sit here and lie to you. I don't pay any dues. I don't pay any fees. But especially as a college kid, you may not have too much money, and you may be like, gee, man, I really can't afford these dues. I can't afford these membership fees. I'm already just scraping by. I'm having ramen noodles for dinner, that cost 99 cents. So that could be a real negative, and say, hey, I really can't afford it. And you also, like I mentioned before, they have these formal events, these dances. You might have to rent a tuxedo. You may have to get a nice dress if you're a lady in a sorority. It may start to add up. You may be required to go to some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Some type of convention. There you go. So I remember back in 1990, I went on some convention out in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. See if I remember. And that cost a lot of money. I didn't have a car in New York City. I had to rent a car or whatever. I had a hotel. I got to pay for my food. That convention, I remember, 1990. See if I remember, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That was not a cheap event. So those are the things you need to kind of keep in the back of your mind. And that is all I got. I try to keep it short and sweet. Keep in mind, like I said, the real big thing is make sure about hazing. My humble opinion, really stay away from hazing. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to, God forbid, die for sake of a fraternity or sorority, because you're like, hey, I can drink, I can do these drugs, I can do whatever, I can blah, 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 I can drive at, 100 miles an hour. you just really, really be careful. Other than that, I really like it. I really like fraternity. I like sororities. I think there is a good camaraderie, a good fellowship. It really is, and you are brothers and sisters for life. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But again, stay away from the hazing, and should be fine. This is Louis D. Fresh.